Okay, what's up guys? So in the last video, I did a basic level setup that you see here, and I also added weapons to the female character. So what I'm going to do today is, so last time I just added the weapons to the character's chest, as well as invisible weapons in the wrist or in the right hand. And today I'm going to make some. I'm going to make the character equip these weapons. So to start off, I need to go into the female warrior folder, and I've made two folders for the animations gun and animation sword. So I'm going to start off by importing all the animations for both. Go into the folder, press import. Oops. So I've got in the same folder as all the other, the first three FBXs. I also added the gun animations and the sword animations. So I'm going to do all the gun ones first. Open. As usual, make sure skeletal mesh is checked. You have to specify the default, the skeleton, which is the female warrior default pose, and make sure import animations is checked, and then import all. And that's going to take a few minutes. Okay, so when everything's imported, this window should pop up. Just close it, and as you can see, all the animations are imported, as well as the skeletal meshes and textures. So I'll just go ahead and save all. Save selected. And I'm going to go into the animation sword folder, and I'm going to do the same thing. So import, and I want to select all the ones that says female warrior underscore sword. Open, make sure skeletal mesh is checked. Select female warrior default pose, and make sure import animations is checked, and import all. Again, that's going to take a little bit. Okay, again, the window pops up. Just close it, and here's all the animations for the sword. So save all, save selected, and when that's done, the next thing to do is create more blend spaces. So if you remember from my previous videos, we created this thing called the BSP, or blend space. And this is the one when you press Control and the left mouse button, you can slide through it like this to play the walk and the run. So what we have to do is create two more blend spaces for the sword and for the gun. So basically what this is like I said in the previous video, the blend spaces act as sort of like, I like to think of them as like the base animations. So when the character equips the weapon, it's basically just switching between the base animations. So I'll show you as we go. Okay, so just right click on the content browser, and under animations blend space, select the skeletal mesh female warrior default pose, and we'll call this one female, oops, female warrior underscore gun underscore BSP, and we'll do another one. Right click select animation, blend space, select the skeletal mesh, female warrior underscore sword. Okay, so we've got these two, so I'm going to open up both of them. Oh, okay, so there's only one window open, but I can go between the two blend spaces in this little on the bottom right corner. There's like the list of all the animations, and at the bottom it lists the blend spaces. So right now the sword is selected, and if I double click on the gun blend space, okay, so it changes to gun. So I have to do the same thing. If you remember, I named the horizontal axis speed forward, vertical axis speed side. The minimum was 1200, maximum was 1200. Or minimum was negative 1200, maximum was 1200. The same for the vertical axis, minus 1200 and 1200. And you want to divide up the grid divisions to 6. So on the bottom right corner, this lists all the animations that's pointing to the default pose. So we're in the gun, so we want idle in the middle, in the dead center. And you've got to zoom out because the animations are greater than the default pose. You want the walk. I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong one. I'm going to select that and delete it. I need to go to scroll down the sword. I got to make. There we go. Sword idle in the middle. Oh no, I'm doing gun right now. Gun idle animation. The walk animation goes into 400. And on the far right, okay, so change the angle on this. So control and the left goes walk, the far right. Oh, this is the wrong animation. So again, idle, walk, run. Okay, great. Okay, so I gotta do the same thing for the sword. So go to the bottom of the bottom right list, the asset browser, double click sword. That's going to take you to female warrior sword, BSP. Same thing here, got to name the horizontal axis speed forward 6, minus 100, 100, and 6. Okay, so for the animations, gotta go to sword, the bottom right corner. The sword idle goes in the middle. Sword walk is at the 400 mark. On the far right, I'm actually going to use just the regular run. So there's no special sword animation. I'm just using the same one that's in the regular PSP. So again, if I press Control and left mouse button, I drag to the right, got the walk with the sword, then run. Her two hands come apart, and she's holding just the sword in just the right hand. Okay, so that's basically it for that. For now, I'm going to add more to it in a little bit later. Make sure to save. Okay, next step, I'm going to quickly jump into the female warrior blueprint. And I'm going to quickly create two variables. One's going to be called sword equipped, and another one called gun equipped. So when you create these, when you look down here, there's nothing there, but once you press compile, it has a little box. And these boxes are both unchecked, which basically means they're both false. So, which is what we want initially, because both of the weapons are on the player's back. So, so now I need to go into the animation blueprint. And here, I'm going to create basically the exact same variables. Gun equipped. Another one called sword. Oops. So pulling out of so I'm on the event blueprint update. This is every tick. At the very end of this series of nodes, I'm going to create a get all actors of class. I'm going to select female warrior VP. And I'm going to cast to female warrior VP. And pull out of this blue out actors output. And I want to get a copy. So, if you remember from the previous video, one way to access the female warrior blueprint is to create a variable with the blueprint embedded in the variable. Another way is to do it like this. It's a bit more messy, but to get all actors of class, then a cast to node, and then a get a copy node. So now, in the blueprint, I created these two, the sword equip and gun equip. I can access those now. So I just pull out of the bottom blue. I want to set the value of the sword equipped, and I want to get the gun equipped. The same thing, set gun equipped. Wait a minute, I did that wrong. I did that backwards. I need to get, not the setters, I need to get the getters. So, sword equipped. Get gun equipped. Gun equipped. So I'm getting the Boolean value, whatever that is, in the Female Warrior blueprint, and then I'm setting the value of the ones in this blueprint. So I drag it out and select set sword equipped, not get. And the same for the gun equipped. I'm setting the value. And click connect these in series. And then attach this red to this red, and the gun equipped red to this gun equipped. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so now I need to press compile, and then from the event graph I need to go to the end graph. So basically what I did, so these booleans here, it's getting its value from the other Female Warrior blueprint. So the Female Warrior blueprint is setting the values of these two variables, so I'm going to use these now. So before I do, I'm going to disconnect this. And what I'm going to do, move this over. I need to get a node called blend poses by bool. Bool. So I need two of these. So one of them, start with the gun. Actually, no, I'll put the gun on the second one. Now I'll put the sword on the first one. So it's very, very straightforward. So these are booleans. If the sword is equipped, then if it's true, then this one gets fired. If it's false, then this one gets fired. So if it's false, then by default it should be the original blend space that should be active. So if this is not true, then this will fire, and this one can be connected here as well. So ultimately, if both of these are false, this pulse is just going to go through here until it comes out this end. However, if either one of these are true, then to get the Female Warrior sword BSP. Oops. Get the Female Warrior gun BSP. So when the either statements are true, then those get those, if it's true, then these get these pass through. So just say for the sword, if this is true, it'll pass through here, but it'll only pass through if the gun equipped is false. Otherwise, if the gun equipped is true, if both of these are true, then there's going to be a conflict. I'm not sure what the result of that is, but I'm sure you sort of get the point. So I need to copy these. Both these apply to the other line spaces as well for the speed forward and speed side. If you don't remember, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I highly recommend, especially if you don't understand what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to quickly press compile. And I'm going to save all. So basically all this stuff here is determined by these two variables. If none of these are true, then it's she has both of her weapons on her back. And if either one of these are true, then she has one of the weapons in her hands. So these two variables, as we saw here, are set by the female warrior blueprint. So it's in this blueprint where we have to set the value of these two variables on the left. And in order to do that, first we need an input. So I'm going to go into project settings. If it's not open, then it's under edit, project settings. And I want to scroll down the left. I'm going to input. And I'm going to add an action mapping. I'm going to name it equip. And for this, I'm going to use middle mouse button. And I'm also going to specify a middle mouse wheel down in case people have like a tendency to use that. I think I have a tendency to scroll down the middle mouse button as opposed to pressing it. So what I need to do is go into the basic inputs in the female warrior blueprint. And in the basic inputs, like all these ones, I'm going to right click, type in equip, which is the name of the action event, and it pops up at the very top. Again, it's a red node that goes on the left. So whenever this is pressed, I need to first create a variable called equip number. And I'm going to make that as a float. So if I press right here, it says nothing on the right hand side, but as soon as I compile, it says 0. So basically what that does is whenever the value is 0, that means she has no weapons in her hand. If the value is 1, I'll make the sword the weapon in her hand. When the value is 2, I'll make the gun the weapon in her hand. Okay. Okay, so to make this work, I'm going to pull out, and I'm going to create a branch. So type in branch. So basically, it's a true or false. It'll fire off the true if this condition that we set is true. If it's not true, then this will fire. So the condition that we want to check is if this equip number is equal to 0, which it should be right away because by default both of the weapons are on the back, and this equip number has to be 0 if that's the case. So if this is true, we want to go to the next, actually first, before we do that, if this is true, then we want to pull out of true,
and we want to get a sequence node. We want a sequence of things to happen. So the first thing is that we want to set the equip number to 1. After that's done, we need to set sword equipped. So when you drag it out, make sure you select sword equipped. Get the setter, not the getter, and it's set to false by default because it's on her back by default. So you want to set it to be true. Another thing that we want to do at this point is we want to get the sword in hand and the sword in back. We want to set the visibility. So the sword in hand, first of all, we're going to connect it to the sequence. We're going to set the sword in hand to be true. Make sure this is plugged in. And we want this to be false, so we're going to keep this unchecked and compile. We're going to test that out. So again, you have to press the mouse button once to activate it. Now you can spin the mouse around. So right now if I move around, if I press any of the keys, it's the regular animations. But I want to spin around once more. As soon as I press the middle mouse button once, there the sword is in hand. There's no sword in the back, and she is in the sword equipped pose. So whenever I move around with the W, A, S, and D keys, she plays those respective animations. I'm going to hop back into the blueprint, and now that that works, we need to do it for the other two states. So the first state is at the beginning, the default pose is 0, equip number 0. So if that's true, then equip the sword. The next thing in the sequence that we want to do right after the sword is equipped is to equip the gun. So that's going to be equip number 2. So equip number 1 is sword, equip number 0 is no weapon, and then equip number 2 is gun. And we have to do a third part where when you press the button a third time, it loops back to equip number 0. So what we have to do, because all this happened after the true, we have to make another branch out of the false. So if it's false, create another branch. I'm just going to copy this. First it's going to check to see if this is 0. If it's true, then it does all this. If it's false, then it's going to check if it's number 1. If equip number is number 1. If it is number 1, if the sword is in the character's hand, we have to get another sequence. We need to first set the equip number to 2. We need to set sword equipped to false because it was previously set to true. And this time, gun equipped has to be true. And this node right here is what's going to change the animations with or whichever blend space is chosen. So if this is, as soon as this is clicked true, then the gun equip blend space gets activated. And after that, because the sword in hand, I'm actually just going to copy and paste these two sword. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to reverse the visibility. So here, the sword in hand was visible, now it's invisible. The sword in the back was invisible, now that's visible. But I need to create two more of these nodes. And I need to do the same thing with gun in hand, which goes into visible, and gun on back, which becomes invisible. So gun in hand, check mark for visibility, and gun in back, no check mark for invisibility. And I need to add two more pins.
Okay, and the last part of this is we need to create another branch. And we're just going to copy this equipment number. And we're going to check to see if the equipment number is 2. And pull out and create a sequence. Okay, so first it checks if it's 0, which is what it should be at the beginning. If it's false, then it passes through and then checks to see if it's 1. And it's set to 1 with the first middle mouse button click. If it's true, then it goes here. If it's false, then it checks to see if equipment number equals 2. If this is the case, if it's already set to 2, which is was set to 2 in the second button click, then in the third, then we need to set the equip number to 0, and that is going to, first of all, that's sorry, yeah, that sets the equip number to 0, and then because the gun equipped is set to true, we need to set gun equipped to untrue. And we also need to reverse these two. So we're just going to grab these two, the gun in hand, the gun on the back, and we're just going to reverse the new visibility. So the gun in hand is unchecked and the gun in back is checked. And I think that's basically it. Okay, so I think that's pretty much done. I'm just going to press save all, do some quick saves. Then I'm going to play. So again, press button to activate. And I'm going to press the middle mouse button once. Okay. Works fine. Middle mouse button once more. Okay, she's got the gun. Works
looks fine. And I'm going to press it once more. And that should be good. So if I spin around, both weapons are on the back, no weapons are in hand, and the regular blend space animations are playing. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so one last thing that I should do before I wrap up is, so everything's good when the sword is equipped, but the thing about when the gun is equipped, we don't want the player to be able to rotate in any direction. It should only, for the sake of a third-person shooter, it should the character should always be facing forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to type in use control set. It's a node called set use controller rotation yaw, and I'm going to set it to true. So this is only when equip number is equal to true. The gun equipped is checked, it has to be true, and the gun is in hand. So when those are all true, then use controller rotation yaw is true. And when the middle mouse button is pressed again, then equip number goes to 0, which is when both weapons are in the back, and this can be turned off. So I'm going to uncheck the use control rotation yaw. So what that looks like. If I play, again, if I press the mouse button once, middle mouse button, the sword equips. But just say I press S for backwards. So just say she's facing the camera. As soon as I press the middle mouse button again, not only is the gun going to equip, but she's facing forward, away from the camera. And whenever I rotate my camera, she rotates with the camera rotation. And if I press it again, the middle mouse button, not only does the gun go to the back, but this time when I rotate the mouse, she doesn't rotate anymore because the gun's in the back. She's not aiming anymore, which is great. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do to make this to make it a little bit better is I'm going to move the camera position when she's aiming. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to create a move component 2 node. So this is when equip number is 2. When the gun is equipped, I'm going to move the camera so when I select the camera, the location 0, rotation 0, and the scale's all 1. So what I'm going to do, just to get an idea of where I want this camera, I'm just going to move it like this, and I'm just going to look at these values on the left, or on the right. So I got roughly 40 in the Y, and then roughly 140 in the X. So I'm going to set these back to 0 and 0. So 140 in the X, 40 in the Y. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to like blink, so I'll give it, just say, half a second for it to move. So over a period of half a second, the camera is going to move from 0, 0, 0 to this location. And I need to move the camera back when the middle mouse button is pressed again, and she's in the regular non-equipped position. So I'm going to plug this in. And I want to set all these to 0. Okay, so that looks pretty messy, but I'll clean that up a little bit later. For now, I'm just going to select everything. Press C, name it Equip, and press the show bubble when zoomed. So now, I just want to see what it looks like, and I'm going to adjust this number according to what it looks like. So this might be, I may also have to change the rotation this way, which is a negative Z value. So if I play now, hover facing me, press the middle mouse button to equip the sword, press the middle mouse button to equip the gun. That's not bad. And when I press the middle mouse button again, not only will the gun be in the back, but the camera should also move back. There. I think the camera could be a little bit closer when the gun's equipped. So I'm going to say, let's see what 200 looks like here. So that's what it looks like when it's 176. So just say 180. So instead of 140, I'm going to change it, get a little bit higher to 180. So it's closer in the forward direction. And I want to give it minus 5. Oh no, sorry. The Z, I want to give it minus 5. So it's going to be angled slightly towards the character. So I'll try that again. Spin the camera around. The sword is equipped. Press the middle mouse button again. Gun is equipped. That's not too bad. As I rotate the mouse, she rotates, which is good. Press the middle mouse button again. Perfect. So I think that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I think that's good enough for one video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, please stay tuned for the next one, because I'll be building more on this. For the next one, I'll probably introduce some enemy characters, so I can get I'll get some of the weapons actually doing something, like when she's shooting or when she's like swinging the sword. Okay, so I'll see you then.